Hello everyone and welcome. We are back from our Northeast trip and I'm just kind of popping in to do an impromptu live. So if you're watching this later, welcome and hello, and leave any questions you have in the comments. If you watch this live, you can put it in the chat. If you're watching the replay, you may see the chat later, but sometimes it takes about a few hours for it to actually come up. So I just got home. We had a great trip. We'll talk about it a little bit more. And I need to make myself some milk and some creamer. In fact, I was trying to troubleshoot something, or I would have had my tea a little bit earlier. If you're here, say hey, let me know where you're from, what the weather's like. I'm still feeling like we need more fall, like all the fall. I didn't even feel like I got that much up north, but anywho, I'm going to use the Nama to make some milk today. So I'm simply going to make some plain almond milk first, and then I'm going to make a vanilla oat creamer. So we'll have those two things, and then probably tomorrow, the next day, I'll use the Meomat and make some. The Meomat just came out with their new stainless steel strainer, which I don't have yet, or I'd be demoing that right now. So one of the things that's great about the Nama is that it has built-in straining. I do not recommend this for soy milk, even of pre-cooked soybeans. I tried it both ways and I really didn't like it. So here's what the pieces and parts are if you haven't seen it before. There's a stainless steel strainer. There's this. And Nama makes juicers, so you can make some almond milk right in the juicer. Hey, Joanne. Definitely not enough fall. 79 and sunny. I think it's 80 something here. It was even like in the 80s in New Hampshire. It was a little bit crazy. So one of the things I love about this is just the ease of use. Excuse me. So we'll put this in, and we make sure that this is closed, else all the water will run out all over everything. I'm using blanched almonds. So I just got a new one, a new bag. Blanched almonds just means the skins are gone. So they've taken the skins off. You can create the same effect by soaking your almonds overnight and popping them out of the skins. You don't have to have blanched almonds to make almond milk in here. But what I'm going to do, so Meomat also has this little place where you put the pulp, which I love. I'm not Meomat, Nama. Nama has the pulp holder. Sorry. Too many milk makers on the brain. And I reuse my almond pulp and my soy milk pulp to make things like queso fresca or ricotta, things like that. So I do like it to be lighter color. That is the only reason that I'm using blanched almonds. So don't feel any way obligated to do that. So I'm going to put in, they recommend like a half a cup. I'm going to put in like about 1/3 of a cup. You could even put in 1/4 of a cup if you want. So we just put the almonds in there, and then I have some milk. And I'm doing this in this order because I want the almond pulp separate. And then I can just kind of take the almond pulp out of this. Then we'll make our oat creamer. It won't matter that there's a couple of pieces of oat pulp in there or almond pulp. It doesn't matter. And Joanne says the stainless steel strainer from Meomat's going on next month's budget. And as soon as I get off of here, I will put the link in. I'm so excited about this. And Eric from Meomat's been talking to me about it for a while. And I thought because of the tariffs, it might have gone sideways, but no. And he went further than I would have gone making it. So there's like a really nice glass pitcher. There's a lid. There's a stainless steel press that you can press in it. It's really going to be awesome. So I'm going to put about 4 cups of water in here. And we'll turn it on and it will say hello. There we go. I'm trying to do this backwards. And then when I press this, it's going to blend it for about a minute. One of the good, the bad thing about the Nama is that it's $500. So if you really want one, see if there's any kind of sales or anything like that. Black Friday's coming up, Amazon's coming up. I will try and keep, maybe I'll do a live too about some of the Amazon sales that I find. But I'm going to go ahead and press this. So it's just going to blend for about a minute. And it's super easy. And it's easy to clean too, which is really nice. And I got a cauldron. This is really for cooking in. Is that not the cutest lid? Like ever. And if I could have made vanilla almond milk, could have put vanilla, dates. I could have made almond cashew, almond oat. And again, the main reason, because I'm probably going to do a pasta and make a quick ricotta for us to really kind of work that out. And what milk makers do you guys have if you're watching the live or the replay? Over on healthyslowcooking.com, I'm getting ready to update my reviews of all the milk makers. So then it says spout, it wants me to open the spout. And if you're looking, if you're not looking to make soy milk and you want the easiest milk with the easiest cleaning, the Nama, I think, is worth it. And see, then it automatically goes, let me get all those little bits out for you. Thank you. Thank you very much. And this also makes a very, you can hear that, right? A very dry pulp, which you're going to kind of see, which will be real cool. We'll get that ready. A few more seconds. And the stainless steel strainer from Met is expensive. But with tariffs, using stainless steel products, there's just no other way. And then I'm going to be me and get those last 3 drops out. And this is the pitcher that comes with it, and it has a lid, but I am going to put it in this new pitcher. I would recommend that you get a pitcher with a really wide, like your hand can fit in, because I find some of the smaller ones are really hard to clean, even with the brushes that I have. And I can go ahead. So how has your summer been? I want to hear what everyone's up to. We did go to Blaze Pumpkin again, which was pretty awesome. And we'll have a video up on that on the Plant-Based Explorers soon. I also am starting to put up a few little videos about travel appliances that sometimes we travel with when we're in the car. Oh, and Joanne, oh, hi, Diane. Joanne says, I still just have the arc mirror. There's nothing wrong with the arc mirror, absolutely nothing. And when I'm talking about all these different milk makers, I don't want you to see the next new shiny thing. Even though the way I'm talking about some of it may seem new and shiny, it's for people who don't have anything yet or are ready to upgrade to something different. The arc mirror, I just put a video up about how I make my teas when I travel. It's real small. I put in some loose leaf tea, a tablespoon of cashews, a couple of dates, and some water. And then I have a beautiful tea latte that I just strain. And it's so much cheaper than like a $9 latte, which is what things are right now. And so this milk is going to separate. And so I'm going to have to, there are a couple things I could do. I can just stir it every time that I use it, which is what I usually do. I can't shake it in this pitcher, even though I try to. Lydia, it's so good to see you. I'm so glad you guys are hanging out with me. So what we just did is we made some almond milk in the Nama. And I'm going to be going live for the next few weeks on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'll send that out in the email. And hopefully I'll go ahead and kind of preload some of those so they'll come up easier for you guys, because I am going to be, hopefully tonight or tomorrow, have a pre-sale page up for potions and powders. And while it's not going to be the milk and milk pulp book, there will be a couple of recipes in there about this too. And so if I wanted this not to separate at all, I could have also put in some chia seeds, like maybe a half a teaspoon of chia seeds. You've got to really kind of like balance it out though, because they will start to taste and change the taste of what you are doing. And this guy I love. I was telling Chef AJ that I just think it's just the best. All right, so I'm going to take this out. Hey Ron, it's good to see you. And Diane says the arc mirror is just right for us. We love our soy milk. And that's the one thing I do not recommend the Nama for. And if anybody else has done it and loved it, let me know. But I tried it with pre-cooked soybeans and then soaked soybeans. I didn't like it either way. And also when I did cooked soybeans in it, I couldn't use my okara. It just was this paste. And I really like using my okara. So the Meomat, which is back there, it's still my number one for soy milk. Once I have the strainer, like this is really cool. I'll let you see it from the top view too. So when we pull this out, this kind of gets most of it out. And then I can take my spatula. And this was just 1/3 of a cup. So in the Meomat, when I use a half a cup of soybeans, I get about 1 cup of okara. Almonds, I find, don't really make as much. And certainly not these blanched almonds. So the reason my almond pulp is white is the blanched almonds. And if not, yours would have some brown tint, and that doesn't matter either. But I want this to look a little like ricotta, and I'm probably going to be saving it. So can also, there's still a little bit in here, can scrape this out. Now, of course, I'm going to be washing it later, but the beauty of making kind of 2 kinds of milk, I was thinking about getting all like slick and using the Meomat and this at the same time, but let's just do one for this and one for that. All right, so this is what's super cool about this, is that I just flip it over, throw it in the fridge, and then it's ready when I want it. And I do love these. And what I can do is if I know I'm going to make a couple more, because I have a lot of cooking to do because I've got a lot of photography for the Potions and Powders book. And once I get the sign-up sheet up, I'll put it, or the pre-order form up, I'll put it over here too. But this still, I could also just put in a little lemon juice, a little lactic acid, a little salt or salt substitute, and top tacos with it. I could go ahead and just put a same kind of thing, mix it into some spaghetti sauce. So it gives us some fiber. It's a really great way to reuse all this, which I think is really, really nice. Okay, so we're going to make creamer. I have a little creamer bottle that I got at TJ Maxx that I like, that you also can't shake. Theme of the day. So typically, and this, you could do this too if you want to make an Oatly, because the reason people don't like homemade oat milk versus Oatly is that it separates. It doesn't have any kind of, it doesn't have fat in it. And, you know, that's kind of what people are looking for. So in a creamer, I'm going to put a heaping between 1 to 2 tablespoons of cashews in there. And then I usually put the same amount of oats or almonds or anything like that that I would put in 4 cups, but we're going to use 2 cups of water to make it stronger. So I'm going to put about a half a cup in here. And it is going to be a little harder on the machine. So if you find that if you're not using the Nama, maybe you're using the Almond Cow, because you could do the same thing in the Almond Cow. You would use that little cup, because that's how you can use less in there. And each milk maker is just a wee bit different. Okay, I'm going to put about, I think about 2 cups of water. This has a measurement on it. Maybe I'll put 2.5. I don't know, 2-ish. So how have you guys been getting along? Oh, and see, I almost didn't check that. Did you guys see me go, ah? Because I know it can happen. So for this, I could put my vanilla in now, but I'm probably going to put it in last so we don't lose any of it. I've got some dates. You could put some maple syrup in there. Let's get that in there. And then what we have with the date pulp and the oat pulp, we could make like some little truffles or something like that. Or we could put that mixture in something in the freezer and make truffles around Christmas for gifts. So you could kind of, if you know you're going to make creamer for a while. Okay. And so far I always just use its default 1 minute. I'm getting ready for Halloween. This was these were my 2 new purchases. Is this not the cutest little garlic holder? I have no garlic in there now. But hear how it's a little harder on it because we're using a thicker mixture. Anybody have any questions about creamers, milk makers, making your own milk? One of the things is if you make oat milk, it lasts about 3 to 4 days. So only make what you're going to use in that amount of time, or you can freeze. You can always freeze milk in ice cube trays. So like if you're going on vacation or something like that. And see how thick it is? And I want it to be really thick, a lot thicker than the regular milk, because when I'm putting it in my tea, I'm going to use less of it. That's also why I think I put in about 6 dates. And I'll take a little taste, but it should be sweeter than, you wouldn't want to drink this. Oh, that's good. And I really like the way the oats, I mean, I don't know how else to say this. It's almost like a cookie, oatmeal cookie kind of flavor. The oats have that certain oatiness about it. And I think that's good. You could have also put in some cinnamon. We could have put some chai spices in there. We could have put chocolate or cocoa, carob. We could have put lavender in there. Susan, for my oat to water ratio, I'm doing about, I think I did about 2.5 cups of water, and I did about 1/2 cup of oats and probably 1.5 tablespoons of cashews. You can leave the cashews out if you're allergic or you just don't want to have, those cashews in your life. It just gives it a richer feel. So here's what I would say. If you've been whole food, plant-based, no oil, and haven't done nuts in a long time, you're going to be fine without the cashews. If you're doing this for your family who's not, that little bit of cashews could bridge the gap to getting them over here. Hi CJ. Creamers weren't really a thing. That's true. I saw that. What was it I got? I wish I could remember. I got some soy milk and it was so thick. I used it for a long time and I got that in Scotland, I think. And I wish I could remember now. I know it was in a small container. So think of it like half and half, or like really creamer. So it's not cashew cream. You don't want it that thick. And so let me show you from the top too. So I think from seeing things on the tables when we were in the UK, because we'd have to ask if we wanted non-dairy milk for our tea or coffee, it's kind of the consistency of what they put on the table. And I don't know if that's cream or half and half. And half is, I think, half whipping cream, half milk. Somebody correct me. I don't know that I ever really knew that. But I'll put this in here and hopefully that helps. And you can make this so many different flavors. And I would do about the same. I would do somewhere between 1/3 to 1/2 cup of nuts or other grains if you wanted to do a creamer to about 2.5 cups of water. The creme fraiche, maybe it was that I bought here. I got a couple of things, but like there was a thing that we were using in our tea. It was a soy milk. I thought it was plain old soy milk, but we barely had to put any in. So like if you look at this, see how this wiggles around? You can tell it's not so thick. And then this one, see how that's thicker? It's heftier, thicker. I feel like we were having a wine tasting. The legs of the oat creamer. So this probably won't really froth much, but I'll put a little bit in there. And I do have my little handy, I love this guy. It's actually rechargeable and it comes in this, so it's easy for me to travel with or bring to work. Now, usually the reason things froth or say barista is they have extra fat in them. Now, homemade almond milk often will froth if it's been made with heat, not always if it's made without heat. See what we can do. I'm giving it my, oh, you can't see any of that, I'm sorry. My big old hands were in the way. Yeah, we got it frothing a little bit. It's not super frothy. It's not like cappuccino kind of froth. Let me rinse this before I forget. This is one of my top 5 things you need to rinse as soon as you use them. And then this just dries itself on that high setting. Oh, you know what else I forgot? To put vanilla in it. So I'll put a couple of drops. Here's another thing you can do. You can just put a couple of drops of vanilla in whatever milk you have, or other extract. You want to be careful. I'm probably going to put 1/2 teaspoon in there and I'm going to mix it up. I like it to taste real vanilla-y. That's pretty good, but I think I could do a little bit more. And remember, most of the time you're using extracts that have alcohol in it unless you bought specifically not. So don't go too crazy. Don't go putting 1/2 cup in there. Yeah. And then I have some Earl Grey tea. This is my, I guess, afternoon tea. It was supposed to be my morning tea. And I could always put more creamer in, just like you would milk and tea. I think that's a tea leaf. Gonna get it. Gonna get it. There we go. Tea leaf. Yeah, I'm gonna take a little more in. And there's a thing here called London fog, which is like steamed or frothed milk. I usually get soy milk, frothed with vanilla syrup, and then Earl Grey tea is brewed in it. But yeah, it's just what you find in America. So CJ, when you finally come to visit us, there are 80 bazillion creamers. So like right now, if you go into a Target or a grocery store, there's going to be top to bottom with different flavors of creamer. There's going to be cinnamon bun and pumpkin spice and chocolate mint and apple cinnamon, along with hazelnut and just regular ones, because Americans love our flavors of things. So, do you guys have any other questions? I'm basically gonna just dump the stuff out, put it in the freezer, like I told you I might do, and then I'm just gonna rinse everything out. I can add a little bit of water and dish detergent and do it here after I empty that stuff out. But it's really pretty easy. I have some other videos where I demo the Nama. And like I said, I'm going to be doing the Mia mat. I'm on pins and needles about the new stainless steel strainer. I am pinning all of my hopes for humanity on that. So Eric, I know you did a great job and I can't wait to see it. And if nobody else has any questions, I'm going to make Cheryl and I some lunch and start taking some pictures for potions and powders. I think this might be in there. Okay, I'll see you soon.